We got a 2v2v2, 3 teams. Not my favorite setup, but this is supposed to be a very good game, so let's look at it. I'll put it up on 4 to begin with. So the 3 teams are, we got Sniper Za. On his team he's got McDuffie, Cybern and UEF. We got Killer Wolf and Brainbreaker, most likely Brainsteel here. Or Brainsteel is actually here. Azeon. So you got Eisen and Brainsteel on the bottom. Killer Wolf doing some crazy things with his ACU. It looks like he's going to this island. He's going to be fighting Eisen over this island. He is Cybern on Cybern here. See a very early NG from Brainsteel, getting this free mass. Also an NG from Sniper Za. See, there's a plan for all those mass spots from Brainsteel. And ACU from Sniper Za also going to this island. See Brainsteel working on a factory. And absolutely nothing happening on the top island. And I'd be curious to see. So Brainsteel should already got nearly 3,000 reclaimed. Probably most of it with this NG here. And a lot of T1 land factories planned for Brainsteel. See scouts from McDuffie flying all the way around the map. Looks like there will be a lot of P-gens here for Brainbreaker. See T2 air and already a T2 transport from Brainbreaker. It's the only factory is made. Besides that, it just has a whole bunch of power. Really wants to keep that transport away. See a scout now going toward Brainsteel, and now transport. So it looks like Brainbreaker is going directly at Brainsteel. That's probably not very nice. Looks like he does have a upgrade on his ACU. It's an ACU on ACU fight. Some NG's trying to make PD unsuccessfully. That's a lot of aggression. So this top island is completely given up to McDuffie. Killer Wolf has taken over. No, I actually see Mercy's coming out for Brainbreaker, and this is a pretty tough fight. We can see Brainbreaker losing some health. Now I see a Mercy coming in. It is not successful. We see this anti-air from Brainsteel takes care of the situation, but then he has just been effectively nuked. Lost most of his power, still got some factories. This is quite tragic. So Brainsteel probably has major economy problems. Somehow still plus 310, so his ally has a lot of power access. That's going to help Brainsteel out. There was no give from Brainbreaker, so within 8 minutes Brainbreaker basically nuked Brainsteel and left the game. See T2 ground from Killer Wolf. Now working on the shield. Really want to try to fortify this island. We see only player with the Navy is McDuffie, is sending some frigates. And now we see that Killer Wolf is going to try to capture more land for himself. Already has 2 islands. He's probably going to send a whole bunch to reclaim Brainbreaker's old base. See a PD planned and a factory for Killer Wolf in the middle. I see Brainsteel trying to recover. He's actually doing quite well. And we can see this other island is captured by Sniper Za. So it appears that both of those 2 teams, they're not really fighting each other, although it's not entirely true. We see T2 air has just forced Killer Wolf off the middle island. So the only player now on Killer Island very temporarily is Brainsteel. We do see some amphibious units, some Riptides, excellent amphibious tanks from UEF going to the middle island. They will not find anything to kill, however. Very surprising to see this top base not being claimed. We actually see 2,000 mass just sitting there. That's very inexcusable from Killer Wolf. Terrible. So Eisen working on his eco. Just got a T3 mass extractor. Somebody should drop here and take all that mass. See T2 ground, some wangers being produced by McDuffie, and still some T2 bombers produced by this air factory. We can see snipers out working on quite a bit of power, and a shield. So T2 bombers for the topside team, they're not using them too much. T2 bombers also for Eisen. He's taking out these riptides. Very strange place to send your riptides. Not the most direct way to attack Killer Wolf, who has T2 PDs here. So really the major part of Killer Wolf's base is actually on this offside island. And we see a bunch of wangers. These are actually amphibious, but they float under. Actually don't float, they go on the bottom of the sea floor. See T3 air from Eisen. Making some ASF. It's going to be a nice counter to all those T2 bombers. Brainsteel has recovered very well now, making T2 Navy some T2 power, some stealth. We do see a nice T2 bomber force here. Not very successful there, shooting against the shield. The shield withstands. Those T2 bombers go home. Still about 7 minutes later, base is not taken back. That's quite amazing. Either McDuffie or Killer Wolf should really take care of the situation. And now we see those wangers have surfaced, and Brainsteel has taken care of them with his own ACU. They should keep running away from the ACU. And now we'll see how good Riptides are versus T2 Navy. Multiple destroyers, but these Riptides actually getting support from some bombers. And now the ASF is just going to shred those T2 bombers from Eisen. So the destroyer, one thing that it has over these Riptides is speed, and can also shoot them from far away, so those Riptides retreat. Brainsteel has taken over a lot of mass extractors on the middle island, so you should have a pretty good eco. Now we see T3 gunships from Eisen. Continue to chase those Riptides back. To look at the ecos for the different players, Brainsteel making plus 67, Eisen plus about 65, Killer Wolf plus 73, McDuffie at plus 73 has a 66,000 in the bank, Sniper about plus 50. We see a whole bunch of mercies from Brainsteel. He's probably going to be looking to assassinate someone. And finally, 10 minutes later, we see Killer Wolf taking back the land, and actually has already taken that ship. So a very peaceful game so far. A cruiser and destroyer combo here is going to start attacking Sniper Z's island. He's got a whole bunch of Auroras on the island. More cruisers coming out for Brainsteel. Top island completely belongs to McDuffie. He's got multiple T2 mass extractors there with a radar, absolutely no defense, so it'd be nice to get a drop here. T2 Naval factory from McDuffie is making some cruisers now. He's got a nice T1 Navy plus a destroyer leading. And now we're going to see Auroras versus destroyers and frigates here, and T2 Navy is going to win this battle quite easily. See T3 scouts from Brainsteel. And a lone T1 sub decides to turn back, which is the right choice. See 3 cruisers and a destroyer, so really an anti-air focused Navy here. Could be a little vulnerable though against a destroyer plus a whole bunch of T1. Really the destroyer the only And now the destroyer is attacking the other destroyer. If this destroyer can kill the silent destroyer, it would be pretty tough for McDuffie. Now you can see how those Aeon destroyers like to shoot sideways and miss. Actually, a T2 sub, an excellent weapon here from Brainsteel, and Brainsteel wins that naval battle. See another cruiser coming out from McDuffie. So we should expect Killer Wolf to have a massive eco, given that he's taken back all that land, and he has first made mass storages, then decides to upgrade from T1 to T2. So that's not a major thing, but it's not optimal. We see T2 subs pushing forward. This cruiser really has absolutely no defense against submarines, so it's going to be a bad loss for McDuffie. McDuffie's trying to make a T2 torpedo launcher. He actually has a torpedo launcher in his ACU, and that was very effective against those subs. That's basically his best weapon now against Navy, is that ACU. Appears that Eisen's just been sitting there ecoing, and he got a very nice Air Force. Got a bunch of hoplites, some transports. See a plan for a Tempest from Brainsteel. Still those Mercies are sitting waiting. T2 power spam from Sniper, making some T3 shields. Now he's making more Riptides on the island. Looks like it was an attempt to make a foothold on this island from Brainsteel. Is taken care of with some T2 bombers. Brainsteel going for the Tempest. Nothing but eco from Killer Wolf. He actually has absolutely nothing that shoots except a few ASF. But it has a little defense here too. Some anti-air, so very much a turtle from Killer Wolf. See some Riptides. They're going to take care of these undefended T1 mass extractors from Brainsteel, who has stopped producing. Now restarted again this Tempest. Excellent weapon. And now we're going to see those Riptides move in on Brainsteel's base. See, this whaler is going to get quite a few kills. A T3 gunship. It appears that the Riptides want to kill this T2 naval factory, so I guess it's a pretty good target. It'd be very easy to rebuild it, but now the Riptides are attacking the Tempest and get wiped out. We now see multiple spiders are planned for McDuffie. Very strange when you have more than two teams. Not clear what people should do, and it really leads to people turtling. And somebody like Killer Wolf should be dead. Basically doesn't make anything that shoots. He's got a brick. It looks like he's going for a snipe here. I'll be curious to see at what point people will see this. Multiple cruise missile launchers. This will be in range of anything on Brainsteel and Eisen's bases. He is making first mass spots and then upgrading his mass extractor, so he's got this situation, so instead of making +2 it makes +3. Speed this up a little bit. So that spider here is finished at the minute 29 from McDuffie. Is working on the second. Spider is on its way. The Tempest is nearly finished as well. It's 3/4 finished. Will be a Tempest versus Spider. Not a fight you see every day, but be curious to see what happens. Also, we also see a Spider from Eisen, so that makes that fight less interesting. Now we see the Tempest has been finished, and the Tempest is moving. You can see it can shoot from really far away. It appears it's moving toward Killer Wolf. Brainsteel is going for a second Tempest. And now we see a snipe attempt. Takes out T3 power. And now we see a whole bunch of TMD being built by Eisen, so that's a pretty big loss. Really good target is T3 power. An excellent target would be this battleship, if Killer Wolf knows where to shoot. And now we can see these cruise missiles are the target of this battleship. They should be shooting at this battleship. And now we have, looks like a successful drop from Eisen, but Killer Wolf gets the spider bot just in time, and you can see Killer Wolf really got to run. He's nearly dead. And gets out just in time. One more shot and he would have been dead. Now he goes into the water. Now we see a spider bot moving toward the Tempest. And now we see a snipe attempt at the Tempest. Just misses. Now it looks like it's going to be shooting ground from brain steel, but misses. See another snipe attempt at the Tempest. This is getting pretty interesting now. The spider bot will make it out, but will get killed off by a spider bot that's just waiting there for it. So now the best way to use a spider from Killer Wolf. We got to remember there's also 2 spiders now built by McDuffie. Now I see these shields are trying to get upgraded to counteract this battleship, but this is a lot of firepower on this. Another snipe attempt. Brainsteel's trying to get out of the way. And this time he didn't, so that was a huge loss. That's like 35,000 mass. It's like 2 of these spider bots. Excellent snipe from Killer Wolf. However, another Tempest has been completed by Brainsteel, and he's working on another. That was a very sad way to lose a Tempest, but excellent snipe from Killer Wolf. He has lost a lot of his units by that drop. You see 2 spider bots coming in from McDuffie. Will we see another Tempest die to a snipe? Yes, that is the question. We see a spider coming out from Eisen. It'd be trouble for Killer Wolf's base. Now we see the Tempest actually retreating. Those spiders just sit in the water waiting. They can do a lot of damage. And the spider from Eisen is gonna put an end to this base from Killer Wolf. Killer Wolf doesn't. Oh, he actually almost has another spider finished. So the spider should be able to save his original base. Now we see the spiders coming in. I'll slow this down. Spiders are going to come into Brainsteel's base, and this is going to be really bad for Brainsteel. There's 1 spider from Eisen that's going to try to save the situation. We see actually here Riptides versus Tempests. Bad micro from McDuffie. This spider is just, that should not have happened. But nevertheless, pretty nice attack on Brainsteel's base. He lost some power, but now he got 2 nice mass chunks. Those Riptides caused a lot of damage against these Tempests. 10 kills on that spider, but 10 massive kills. He killed 3 spiders. Another spider from Eisen, 84 kills. Almost finished killing off Killer Wolf's base. Still got a T3 factory. It's not producing anything. We got Killer Wolf with another spider. Use it to save his mainland. See some Strat bombers from Eisen. And 2 Tempests from Brainsteel. Now they'll be targeting Sniper Zaw's base. Really not much from this team except a few spider bots. Spider versus a sub. It's going to kill the sub, but it is getting hit by this Tempest. Oh, we might see another spider fight here between Eisen and Killer Wolf. We do have multiple shields for this spider, but this spider already has 3 stars, so a little extra health. The 2 Tempests are doing damage to Sniper Zaw's expansion island. We have 2 spider bots now in the water. Appears that Eisen is going to walk past this main base and just kill off a couple mass extractors. These are T3s, so it's a pretty big loss. See some torpedo bombers from Sniper's single torpedo bomber going against the Tempest. Did not do too much damage. After killing those mass bots, Eisen is going to move into the mainland. Another spider bot is planned for Killer Wolf. This is a damaged spider bot, so total health 45,000 for Killer Wolves and 41 for Eisen. And it looks like Eisen's spider bot will be killed. Actually, did get an extra star, but not enough. So basically a gift for Killer Wolf. Nice chunk of mass. And elsewhere we see Tempests. It appears that they're getting bombed. Looks like that was a friendly bomb. Eisen trying to kill a Riptide and actually hits Brainsteel's battleship. See multiple spider bots, actually a GC and spider bots, a whole bunch of Riptides coming up from the top base. Looks like they're always making it on the main island and going through this channel. See the Tempests are retreating. And many T3 engineers are going to make some T3 subs, T3 torpedo launchers in the water. And now we see the Riptides are going to look at Brainsteel's base, get hit by the spider bot, but now the spider is going to run into a GC. The GC should take care of it. However, we might see these Tempests help out the spider. Eisen spider is dead, GC is dead, but now we have two spiders that are walking through Eisen's base. Eisen does have a single spider, but it might not be in time to save. Multiple T3 power are now lost in Eisen, so pretty good damage control from Eisen, but still pretty big losses for both Brainsteel and Eisen. We're now seeing some restorers being made by Sniper. These would be excellent units at this point. We see now the spider bot being constructed by McDuffie. We see a whole bunch of mass chunks for Brainsteel and Eisen here. They're down to a single T3 power generator, however that's their main thing, and now you can see they're rebuilding T3 power. We do see actually a couple T3 powers from Brainsteel, so they should be in pretty good shape. Another Tempest is being constructed by Brainsteel. It appears that Brainsteel in this game just wants to make Tempests. He doesn't really care about winning. That's the impression here. We see multiple spider bots from Killer Wolf and a Soul Ripper from Killer Wolf. This is a very expensive unit. Will be killed very quickly by this Air Force from Eisen. We see another GC constructed by Sniper. It's now walking out to the middle island. This is actually a very nice Air Force from Sniper's Spider bot completed. This meant 46 by McDuffie. It looks like Eisen just got a Aeon NG from Brainsteel. See how long that NG survives. See here harms. This is the T3 torpedo system. Galactic Colossus stands in the range, just gets hit. And now we see the restorers moving in from Sniper Za and McDuffie. These Tempests really need to go underwater, otherwise they're going to be dead. We also see some T2 bombers get killed quite fast. This is T1 anti-air here. And now we're seeing this ASF battle. Actually, Eisen doing a pretty good job, and now we see this GC getting on land with low health. He should be going after these T3 powers. And gets killed after killing a mass extractor and T3 power. 3 Tempests now from Brainsteel, and now we see another spider bot moving in from McDuffie. So they're really putting on good pressure. Spider bot and construction from Eisen. And now we see Donut in plans for Brainsteel. A spider bot is going to cause a lot of problems for Eisen. Eisen's thinking about overcharging, it seems. You see a lot of gunships. Oh, he thought about it, now he's going to come back. So gunship's the only thing, and plus a T2 PD. So perhaps Eisen can put an end to the spider bot with an overcharge. Appears that McDuffie does not realize there's an ACU walking by his spider bot. Actually, Eisen has a laser on his ACU and takes care of that experimental quite easily. See another GC on its way from Sniper's Eye. So this team has been putting constant pressure on Eisen and Brainsteel. Brainsteel working on a donut now. He has 4 Tempests and a whole bunch of cruisers. It is ridiculous to see Tempest fighting Riptides here. This just should never happen. Although the Riptides are very effective. Now we see a G. Oh, this is a GC that I completely missed. This is the GC that walked from here, walking all over Brainsteel's base. I should be slowing this down then. We see a Mega that was in plans from Brainsteel, as well as GC, and this GC will not be completed. So constant pressure from McDuffie and Sniper Zaw is paying off. We got another spider bot coming in, and after this GC finishes killing this constructing GC, it'll kill off 5 T3 powers. It'll be a massive loss. See Tempest versus a GC. Now the spider bot moving in on Eisen's base. This looks like the end for Eisen and Brainsteel. All 5 T3 powers are lost. However, these Tempests do cause a lot of damage. See a Megalith being constructed by Eisen in the water. Still a few whalers, a single whaler in the air, and this spider is going to finish killing off Eisen's base. And more spider bot, energy C, plus a whole bunch of bricks coming in from McDuffie and Sniper Zaw. And now we see the spider bot in trouble. Brainsteel still working on the donut. The air is controlled by Eisen at least temporarily. And now we see Eisen taking out this spider bot with his own laser that he has on the ACU. Almost killing it. 15 kill GC, 13 kill, and now finally the spider bot's killed. The donut is in the air. It is taken off map so that nobody finds out. Brainsteel's got to be very careful. These bricks do have torpedoes on them, as well as a spider bot. These Tempests are pretty good at killing GCs, it seems. While this is all happening, Killer Wolf is just hanging out, making a base, got multiple spiders. We do see a spider bot moving in his direction, however. This GC is almost dead from all these Tempests, the 4 Tempests, and we see a donut in the corner from Brainsteel, so crazy things happening. Absolutely no base left for Brainsteel. Little T3 engineer here, a T1 factory, mass storage. Eisen does have a few units on this side island. And now we see Spider-Bot versus Tempests, and the Tempests are going to win. So Tempests successfully defend the island after it's been completely wiped out. Now we're going to see Bricks versus Tempests. Brain's still going down, about half health. Looks like this is attack ground situation. So using splash damage. Brain still does have RAS, so he's making 5,000 power from his ACU. That's really keeping their team alive in terms of power. And now we're seeing some T3 gunships. And once again, Riptides. Riptide's actually really good against Tempests. And on the other side, we see Spider-Bots getting killed and the bug in the air. So it looks like Killer Wolf successfully defends against McDuffie and Sniper Zell. And remember, this is coming up on 1 hour. We still have a Donuts sitting in the corner. Looks like it's making Strat Bombers. Very interesting from Brainsteel. He can get any power, as much mass as he possibly would want from all these wrecks, and he has plus 5,000 power from his ACU. So his economy is actually pretty decent. Still 4 Tempests that are alive. And this bug from Killer Wolf is turned back. We actually see Quantum Gateway, so you can get more commanders from here. These are very expensive units. You only get when you're pretty much done with the game. Almost never used ever. Some restorers now coming in against these Tempests. And an Air Force from Eisen. It's amazing he still has one, given that he has absolutely no way to produce it. It's a nice unit control. We see 4 torpedo bombers looking for something. Not clear what they're gonna get. Once again, we see the bug defending for Killer Wolf. We see multiple torpedo bombers, torpedo launchers. We see a megalith plus a spider that's nearly complete. It's going to be another mass chunk next to the other 2 mass chunks for Killer Wolf. So while a whole bunch of fighting was happening between Brainsteel and Sniper Zell McDuffie, Killer Wolf built himself a really nice base, doing some good defense. Surprisingly, we have not seen any nukes in this game yet. Perhaps I've just missed them. Any nukes? Actually, some nice pounding on Sniper Zell's base from these Tempests. More Riptides coming out for defense. Another GC completed by Sniper. And a whole bunch of Spider-Bots planned for McDuffie. The Tempests are moving in. Appears they are underwater now, hiding from these Riptides. Brainsteel is moving back on land. They're making some T3 power, some energy storage, some T1 point defense in case they have to fight these Riptides. The Donut is in the corner. Oh yeah, it's still producing Strat Bombers. The bug is coming in now from Killer Wolf. Looking for NGs to kill. 48 kills for the bug. However, the bug just might die against all this ASF. Yeah, Eisen and Brainsteel run into the water. So it appears that the bug will be killed. Now it will not be good defense from Killer Wolf protects his bug with ASF. I see multiple Tempests attacking Sniper Zell's base, and when they're not occupied with these Riptides, they come up from underneath the water and begin shooting, and this is a really bad situation for Sniper Zell. This team does have multiple experimentals. They can try to put pressure. Now we see restorers coming in. These will cause these Tempests to go back underwater. We got to remember Eisen does not have the SF anymore to counter these. So now we can see the Tempest going back underwater. See some T3 anti-air from Brainsteel. They're gonna make some more T3 anti-air. Still making strad bombers. Brain still in the corner. We're going to see a massive experimental fight here. Multiple megaliths. Spiderbot just died. The worst thing you could ever do with a megalith is turn your back because it can't shoot backwards. See the bug coming in. Multiple spider bots in AGC. These are surfacing again. See some cruisers here providing anti-air. Looks like both teams not being very successful here. Now 4 experimentals going back in the water. Megaliths making it back on land. And a couple more spider bots produced by Killer Wolf. Now we see Sniper Zal working on another GC. It does have some clear counters to these, like restorers and bombers. He's just not using them. You see 5 experimentals from Killer Wolf. Actually, Killer Wolf using the megalith to make some NGs on the middle island. Alright, so now we see 6 experimentals from but these are all spiders. Now you see 3 spiders supported by megaliths. Should be easy wood for Killer Wolf here. It appears that Sniper Zal has left his ally. These 2 GCs would have made a big difference. The spiders just got wiped out without killing anything. Well, actually no, a few spider bots did get killed. But it looks like Sniper Zal is really worried about Brain Steel here because of all these tempests. He wants to put an end to this situation. He's moving in with 2 GCs. So not clear what will happen. A megalith halfway completed from Eisen. Brain still continues to run. This would be a great time to send in a few restorers to put pressure on these. Now Eisen's going to run away. It's actually possible to stomp on the ACU with these GCs. T3 power destroyed. This is really sad. These guys are just trying to rebuild. Now they get pounded again. However, a lot of torpedoes. This Tempest is nearly dead. Now the GCs are going to run away. They might not make it out, so one of them is dead. It's a very bad place to be for other teams, and it's impossible to rebuild for Brainsteel and Eisen. It's a really strange situation. On top we see multiple megaliths here, basically taking over the... appears it's something like a T3 torpedo creep from Killer Wolf. He's trying to establish himself in this water pathway. See restorers coming out. Should get a little flack here. Multiple spiders, 2 bugs. Still no nukes. See any nukes? See a battleship being constructed by a McDuffie. And now Sniper's out trying to rebuild his base. This is a massive team of T3 engineers. They can begin making experimentals here or anything else that Killer Wolf might want. Just to remind people, we still have a donut in the corner with 11 bombers, almost 12. From Brainsteel. Brainsteel playing with it without a base, trying to get a base going with a T1 factory. And now we're seeing some arty being fired across, some shields. Good ideas from Killer Wolf here. It looks like Killer Wolf will begin to attack with a whole bunch of bricks here. He's going to go around. So some nice scouting with a bunch of ASF. Appears that Megalith is just getting hit. And now we're seeing more cruise missiles being built by Killer Wolf. This is good stuff from Killer Wolf. He can begin to snipe the other island. Some T2 bombers coming in from Killer Wolf trying to go after these power, and now the forces McDuffie into the water. However, a whole bunch of bricks are going to make get on land here and cause damage. A lot of bricks in the water for McDuffie as well. McDuffie's going to get on land as fast as he can. For some reason these bricks are just sitting there. So it appears that Killer Wolf has forgot about his troops and they will die. You see Eisen taking this opportunity to begin rebuilding his base as well as Brainsteel. A number of cruisers here for Brainsteel, still 4 Tempests, and a Donut in the corner now working on the 13th bomber. Now you can see these bricks are now ready. These bricks have very weak torpedoes. That's something that appears that is not known to Killer Wolf. And they're gonna die. I always see a whole bunch of arty being used by Killer Wolf. This is really good stuff from Killer Wolf here. Multiple spider bots, multiple megaliths, and now we see cruisers. And now we finally see a nuke. I missed this nuke the entire game. This nuke is from and this is actually against Brainsteel, and Brainsteel is going to get out of the way. This is mind-boggling why this nuke wasn't launched right here. This would be such an epic nuke. And it looks like still a bunch of pounding by yeah, this nuke actually did get a response from Killer Wolf. He's beginning to move his spider bots in with a nice T2 bombing attack. He has just taken out the nuke with the T2 bombers. And now we just saw that appears to have been one of the supporting commanders just got taken out by these cruise missiles. Killer Wolf might have thought he just killed McDuffie, but McDuffie's actually in the water. Excellent to see these arty here just pounding McDuffie's base. Killer Wolf doing a great job, and it appears that Brainsteel now thinking about putting pressure on Killer Wolf. Doran in the corner now making torpedo bombers, T3 torpedo bombers. Already has 15 planes of other types. Has a whole bunch of cruisers causing damage. Successful megalith from Eisen. They actually have established T3 air on this island. Now we're going to see bugs. One Tempest is taken out, but these that's tragic. We've been with those Tempests for so long. I see these cruisers force the bugs back. Now it appears to be game over for McDuffie's base. We see multiple spiders. That's McDuffie. That's the dead quantum gateway there. And not much that Sniper Zaw can do either. McDuffie has left. He's moving with his battleship, a whole bunch of bricks and the ACU toward Brainsteel and Eisen. And now it's the end for Sniper Zaw. So second player to die in 1 hour 20 minutes. The first player was Brainbreaker, who died at minute 8. And McDuffie dies as well. Not clear why. It's really not clear if somebody killed him or not, but he is dead. So now we have a regular matchup, 2v1. We're seeing 2 more Tempests have been destroyed by the bugs. Only a single Tempest remaining. We see multiple megaliths on Brainsteel's island. And now we're actually beginning to see the Donut taking fire from SF. It's not clear if Killer Wolf has seen this Donut. The Donut does have pretty good anti-air though, so it'll take quite a few ASF to kill it. Now we see a Megalith on Megalith fight. It looks like the 2 Megaliths will win. The Spider Bot moves into the action. The Megalith turns it back on the Spider Bot, and the Spider Bot is ignored. It appears that Spider Bot will get to kill 2 different Megaliths. That's pretty amazing, but we see 6 Spider Bots following up. Now we see a Donut coming out of the corner. Has 20 different T3 planes on it. See some nice micro on the donut, and we see the strat bombers come out. That's a pretty nice move from Brainsteel. And now we can see what this donut does sideways. It's going to cause a lot of damage against these experimentals. We also see the strat bombers are going to get these spider bots to retreat. So this donut isn't about half its health. We see multiple bugs and a new Tempest. This is I believe the 6th Tempest or 7th from Brainsteel in this game. It's a full health bug. It's going to wipe out the rest of Eisen's base. I see multiple strat bombers are going to go after the eco. Kilowolf does have ASF that's slowly killing these strat bombers, but now it's not clear if Brainsteel knows where this ACU is. The only anti-air for Brainsteel is this donut. And now it appears that Eisen's ACU in a little bit of trouble with spiders chasing it underwater. And the donut successfully kills off the ASF, so still a whole bunch of strat bombers. The donut's going to move in over and gotta run. This donut is destroyed. Falls onto Killer Wolf. Killer Wolf still has 2,000 health. That is ridiculous. And now Killer Wolf is destroyed by these some of those bombers were torpedo bombers. And that is game over, where Brainsteel and Eisen win. So definitely crazy finish there. Crazy second half of this game. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.